So young people going into organizations today tend to expect to be trained. And I've noticed more and more with the jobs, my own jobs included, that you go in and you don't get much training because everybody's busy, and despite their best intentions, when someone comes in new, they don't often train. Have you ever been in this situation where you haven't been trained and you need to learn something, and if so, can you tell us about it?
Sure. It's one thing that comes quickly to mind is my first day on the job. It was my second job. I showed up and my boss wasn't even there. So she had some things waiting for me, and my computer was ready to go. But otherwise, it was like, okay, here we go.
Oh my gosh! So what did you do?
It's just a lot of just talking to other people within the company.
Mm-hmm.
Is really key, and learning as you go. And then different trade associations and those kind of organizations have information available, and so some of the go-to places you would go given what your particular industry is. Sometimes those can be really great resources. And just a lot of reading and researching and trying to talk to people who have been with a company for a while, for instance, or even the person who was in the job before you. Oftentimes, that they can be a good resource, and they'll be open to sharing some of their best practices and things like that.
And so when you came into this job and you just had these folders, it sounds like you pretty much step by step looked at what you had to do, figured out what you need to know, and then again, like you've done in many cases, put together a list of resources and just started talking to people and asking the questions you needed to know.
Yeah, and it's okay to say, I don't know, or to ask questions. So asking a lot of questions, and it's expected when you're new in the job to have, and I would make a list of questions for my boss, when we would have our one-on-one, because those first few weeks, a couple months in a job, you have a lot of questions and a lot to learn.
And I know that as a manager, as a boss, I've always appreciated it when I have my one-on-one, if they come in with a list of questions, because that gets us through what they need to know. And especially if we have limited time or I'm going crazy, I might not think about what's relevant to them, but if they make the list based on what's relevant to them, it also shows that they're taking initiative to learn. Okay, great, thank you.
Sure.